Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm JD, and today is kind of a big day for me. It is World Ankylosing Spondylitis Awareness Day. First off, if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I know I've had a lot of new subscribers over the last few weeks, and you may have seen me on some of my live streams, but I do occasionally do some videos as well, and I just wanted to kind of give an update and talk about why my videos are so few and far between sometimes, and kind of bring awareness to this day and this disease that has affected my life. First off, what is ankylosing spondylitis? It is a inflammatory disease like arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, that is also known as axial spondyloarthritis. Axial spondyloarthritis. There we go. It's a bit of a tongue twister, no matter which way you try to say it. But it is an inflammatory disease that over time can cause some of the vertebrae or the bones of the spine to fuse together. This fusing makes the spine less flexible and can result in a hunched posture. You may see me, like in my videos, I'm always trying to shift and get comfortable because my spine hurts. It can also, if the disease is affecting the ribs, it can also make it very difficult to breathe properly sometimes. Yeah, today is the awareness for this disease awareness day, and I wanted to kind of come on here and just give like an update of where I'm at, how I've been doing, just, yeah, let y'all know, I'm still here, I'm still dealing with this, and it affects every part of my life. When I was first diagnosed, the dogs are gonna bark, I'm sorry. When I was first diagnosed in 2021, I had never heard of AS. I'd heard of rheumatoid arthritis, RA. I'd heard of some other autoimmune conditions like Hashimoto's and stuff like that. And I kept thinking, well, maybe it's something like this. Maybe it's something like that. My biggest symptoms that I realized that something was wrong was inflammation in my shoulder. I had just had shoulder surgery. A 6-week recovery was what was supposed to be a 6-week recovery was turning into 4, 5, 6 months. And I kept going back to my surgeon and saying, there's something not right. I'm still dealing with this pain and this inflammation. It's still hot to the touch, and we're looking at it. We're doing doing everything, and my surgeon, my orthopedist, he was, we did runs of steroids, and he was just like, mechanically your shoulder's sound, so try some of these other things, and if this continues, you may want to be seen by a rheumatologist about this. And so I tried a few things, and I ended up going to see rheumatology. And within 2 weeks, some blood tests, an MRI, x-rays, I was diagnosed with AS, which is very rare that my diagnosis time from first realizing there was something really wrong to having a diagnosis was really quickly. It did take me about 3-4 months to get in to see rheumatology, so that that was a big deal. That was pretty much the longest wait, but a lot of times with AS, especially, it can be 7 to 10 years before someone can have a proper diagnosis of what's going on. So I feel very fortunate that we were able to figure it out so quickly. But after that diagnosis came the harder part of trying to find a way to manage this disease. There is no cure for AS. At best, you can try to lessen the effects and symptoms, maybe try to slow the progression of the disease with treatments and lifestyle changes and whatnot. That's what I've been trying to do the last 2 years. Since 2021, I have tried a total of 7 different treatments for my AS. And for some reason or another, each one, I'm currently on the 7th one, so the last 6 have failed in some way. There's been, the first one made no difference at all. After that, it was a matter of, I have found that a treatment will work for a little bit. The second one worked for a few days at a time. There was some that lessened my symptoms for a little bit, and then gradually things got worse again, which seems to be the kind of running trend, is where a treatment will work for a short period of time if I tolerate it, and then it will decline in effectiveness, and like my body gets used to it and it doesn't work anymore. There's been a few that, like I said, either didn't work or my body didn't handle it well. It just wouldn't accept it. So I've tried a bunch of different medications, and I can go into more about the medications if you guys would, if that's something you find you'd like to know about. Just my experience with them, but the medications affect everybody differently, and that's why I have been through so many of them, trying to find the ones that would work best for me. Knock on wood. It's still early days of this new one, so I don't want to say it'll work. It's working great. But I'm also kind of getting to the point where I'm also getting to the point where I feel like I can't just rely on the medications to feel better. And so I've been making other lifestyle changes, and a lot of times just coming to accept where I am and what I have to work with when it comes to my energy for the day, my pain level for the day, and what I can do to make the day the best I can. So a lot of the symptoms I deal with, besides back pain, spinal pain, it's a lot of pain and inflexibility in the joints, especially those of my lower back, my hips. I also have a lot of issues with my shoulders and my neck. It is not uncommon for sufferers of AS to have a lot of inflammation around the heart, or as well as around in the eyes. You can get really bad inflammation of the eyes where your eyes get really red. They get, your vision can blur, and it can be very painful. Those are, I mean, that's kind of some of the stuff I deal with, but I have found that things like gentle movements, trying to do body resistance and strength training as much as I can, just stretching and movements that feel good with my body to then strengthen my core and my back as much as possible, have helped. But again, it's a lot of times it is a one step forward, three steps back kind of deal, in trying to find things that work. And it can be challenging because something that could work last week might not work this week. So it's a matter of learning a lot of different techniques and processes and hacks, life hacks, to keep in my toolbox, and just being able to say, okay, this is how I feel today. What do I think will make it better today? So if I wake up and I'm like, okay, I have pretty good energy, my pain's pretty low, let's work out a little bit. Let's go for a walk. Let's go to the gym. Let's work on getting the house cleaned up a little bit today because tomorrow I may be stuck in bed all day, kind of thing. And then I'm also trying to make sure that on those good days, I am not overdoing it and actually ending up in bed the next day. So it's a lot of hit and miss. It's a lot of moment to moment adjustments, and just being constantly aware of my body and my body's limits, which is exhausting on a whole nother level. And that is why I have backed off a little bit on like YouTube here. That's why my writing has slowed down. That's why my house is a bit of a mess half the time. I try to keep areas functional and clean as I can and as I go, but there's a little bit goes a long way, amazingly. So that is kind of what I've been up to and what I am dealing with right now. I have, over the last 2 years since my diagnosis, I have been just making those lifestyle choices. It's been a lot of inner healing, and not necessarily of my body, but of my soul and my mind, and just trying to do that inner work to be strong, and to kind of be able to still be a good parent and a good daughter and a good wife, and still be true to myself, even with this hardship and pain each day, I guess. So what I try to do each day, I try to do a little bit of what kind of sets my soul on fire, that gives me that passion. So I try to write a little bit each day, and I have been able to make progress, but it's been slow, agonizing slow progress with my writing. I've been getting a section of a chapter up to Wattpad each month. I've been making progress with the book that I'm currently sending to a critique partner, but again, that is very slow progress. I have been live streaming here on Wednesdays. I'm starting that. I find live streaming a little easier to do and manage for YouTube, because basically I just have to show up. I don't have to edit and upload and all that nonsense. So if you would like to join me for writing sprints or productivity sprints, you don't have to write. Basically, it's fun. I do it for the Heart Breathings community on Facebook, but I stream also to my channel, and it's productivity sprints where we'll start this live stream, kind of give a little hello, say what we're working on, and then we mute for 25 minutes and focus on our individual tasks, and then check in at the end of the timer for 5 minutes or so, and then repeat the process for 2 hours. And that is amazingly supportive, to be able to have that co-working grouping. So that's nice if you need a little boost of support for working on creative projects or studying, or even just getting some self-care in. So I've been doing that. I've been also doing a lot of reading and catching up on some books I wanted to read. I've been catching up on a little bit of TV with my husband. We've been watching Ted Lasso. I've been reading with the kids and spending time with them, and started going to the dojo with them, so that way I can have that experience with them. And I love the fact that the dojo we are a part of now, the dojo family, is so accommodating and willing to work with me and my limitations to still be able to learn the art and focus on learning the techniques, but also adapting them to work with my limitations. So I find that amazingly positive and so much fun. I love it. So that is what I've been up to and what I've been doing. I hope you would take a minute to recognize with me what AS is and the effects it can have on so many people here in the United States and across the world, and just take a pause and remember that everybody has this unique challenge that they're going through, and that might not always be visible. So you should always be kind, and just offer a smile to everybody. So I love you all, and I will see you guys next time. Peace, love, and happy writing.